Okay, quick update. See if you can hear me. All right, good. Music pause. Okay, state of play. Haven't been here in a second because I had a funeral and shit to go to, family stuff. So I'm back. I needed to get the book going. I don't remember what I was doing last time, but now I need a book. Here's how it's gonna work. This is what it looks like for now. I just spent like a couple hours figuring this out. So I have a book in the game. It has spells. This is rotated the wrong way, and I can turn the pages. And I'm gonna update things so that you have a book that you can keep flipping pages to see what your spells are. You can cast whenever you want. I'm also gonna have first-person animations that are different from third-person. So in third-person, you'll see me and I'm walking around like this. But in first-person, it's going to be a bit different. In third-person, it's not gonna look like the book is held up to your face. But in order for it to look real and you see the book in real life, you have to hold the shit up to your face. And that would look stupid if you're looking at third person, you're looking from at other people from your perspective. Here's what I mean. Player's looking at player. This guy, the wizard, is holding the page in his FOV, what means that your hand kind of has to be like right here in order to see the pages. Like not here, I don't know, something like this. And it would look weird if we're walking around and it's this close. So I'm gonna, like, especially with walking animations, the walking animations for other people shouldn't be mega rigid, but first person, it might make sense for it to be a bit more rigid. I think that's what I'm going to do, because you look at all games, you look at Cyberpunk, and there are videos on YouTube you can find. Just Google Cyberpunk third person, and the top video is why Cyberpunk doesn't have a third person thing. It's because the animations are only built for first person. So the sword looks like it's being pulled perfectly out of its sheath, but in order to see that, if it's real life, I'm pulling it out of the sheath from down here. So in my field of view, I don't see anything. I just feel it. So in the beginning, if I was a newbie pulling swords, I would probably have to look down to make sure I'm doing it right. But in Cyberpunk, in order for you to actually see it in your camera, well, how do I see it? You have to do this. Which means the character, the lady, is pulling the sword out of her fucking left boob. That makes no sense. So they don't have a third person. But for me to make the spells look good in first person, or at least like the page, the book holding and stuff, I think I need separate animations, first person and third. I was hesitant. I didn't want to do this, but I think I'm going to do that. Not yet, though. It's fine. So, what am I doing with this book shit? What about the book? What is the point of this thing? The point is this. Okay. This game's going to have a shit ton of spells. Like, I have 20 now, and I could easily double, triple this. Sure, I'm going to cut all the shitty ones out, but I know that I'm probably going to have 30 or so solid spells. Well, how do you keep track of that many? Like, what do? Do I make it so that you press tab and then you get like a little sheet of your book stuff that comes up? No, man, that it takes away from the immersion. It's like just pressing M to pull up the map. And sure, I could play like a little sound effect like you're pulling out your map. And it's not terrible, but it would be better if we didn't have to deal with the UI and whatnot. I want it to be a thing in the game. How do you keep track of your spells? Well, if you play the game for a while, you'll probably memorize a lot of them. Okay, fireball, magic missile, shield, lightning bolt, thunderclap, fire blast, magic missile, blindness, deafness, testicular torsion, Allahu Akbar, deodorant, any of these spells, deafness, I think I said blindness already, something like that. I said beam, crunch, but maybe you start running out at some point. Okay, and especially for a new player, you're just going to have to memorize them all. It feels clunky. So, and I also want to be able to control how many spells the players have, because I think spawning with all spells can be cool. For example, if we have the hall, what am I doing? Just play the game. If we're doing the hall map, I think hall could be a good, everybody has every spell, and you just fucking fight. It's two teams, you spawn in, you see each other. You spawn in, see each other, recover. Holy light. You see each other and you just fucking go at it, and that's it. I don't think I need AI or breakables or other things to pick up the spells. I mean, maybe. It's actually kind of a sizable map, so maybe I do add little things and you can get extra spells. But I could see it could be justifiable to me to just spawn the players with all the spells so you don't have to go and collect them. It's a tiny little straightforward map. It's team deathmatch. I mean, it could be any of the game modes, but maybe it makes sense to not to just give everybody every spell. The forest map, I think, could go either way. We could have everybody get every spell. And maybe this isn't the final map. This probably won't be the final map. Maybe I just do, I mean, this took 0 seconds to create. Like, it's super easy. I could do one in less than 5 minutes, 100%. I kind of want it to be a little flatter. I'm not sure. Maybe, like, create some hills and make it more dynamic. That would be kind of cool. I could do that and then spawn all the shit on this custom map. This was just the pre-made texture that happens when you create a flat map and it has these mountains that just pre-populate around it. It just spawns in Unreal. I literally just deleted all the flat stuff, went to a corner, took 4 grids from it, and then just said, oh, I guess I can't see it here, and just said, fuck it. Okay, that's the map. That was it. It was so easy. This could go either way. We could have spells you collect, maybe not. It's a forest, so maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to work that out. But the maze, I think it would be cool if you collect spells as you go. Like Mage Arena, you spawn with, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells or whatever in your book, but you collect more. How do you collect more? Maybe breakable things like crates and pots, maybe other things like chests. Maybe those have different, maybe there are different tiers of spells. I don't know. I'm just making the main content for now, not all the rules and nitty gritty. Maybe chests give you higher rarities, or maybe chests give you more. Maybe chests have higher chance compared to breakables that are like low chance, 10% for them versus like 30 for a chest or 100% for a chest, something like that. Something to give you something to do because the maze map is fucking giant. It's really large. So, in order to make it not boring and also not have to cut the map in half and make it really tiny, because I like the map, I like it a lot and I want to use it, I want there to be something to do. So, one other thing I could do is add in enemies, AI, NPCs, and I make them be sorcerers. So there are 2 teams of wizards, and the game's objective is to beat the other wizard team, and then you win. But maybe there are sorcerers, these evil wizards, something like this, that spawn somewhere random-ish on the map. I don't know if I'm going to do that on the hall map because it's very straightforward. It's a straight hallway. Maybe there are some that guard each of the 3 crystals. I'm not really sure. We could do 4, maybe some on the forest, or if it's a larger, wide map, that could be kind of cool where there are different little groups. Maybe there are different crystals scattered around. I could see that being good. I think forest probably needs a revamp. And maze is a really big map and there are dark corridors and whatnot. It would be cool if you're walking down this hallway and you see a light coming down, and it's not necessarily an enemy player. It might be an AI. You go in there and you cast a fireball at him, and he reactively looks at the fireball and casts shield in time to block the fireball, and then sends his own down the hallway at you, and you have to fucking whatever. So, like, not mega intelligent AI, but like decent enough AI. It's cool because they would be able to cast spells, and all I would do is just make them have access to the same spells here. I would basically just make a child character of this and just have it controlled by an AI, blackboard and whatnot, and behavior tree. I've done that before. And it would be easier than other AI I've made before because those I had to make animations and make them procedural and add in like an attack angle and you pass that in and we do like some blending and whatnot. This would just be chance and maybe specific conditions that affect which spells they're likely to cast. If their health is low, then he's more likely to cast a healing spell. If it's not, then whatever, something like that. And like one way you could have it is we have this whole maze map. I'll just pull it up real quick. We pull up maze, and in maze, we could see like this. Here's the texture, here's the map, right? We could say you spawn here, other team spawns here, and you're going through the maze, and maybe off the rip, they spawn in some random spots, or maybe some specific spots every time, okay? Some enemies. And maybe there are chests there too, and the chests are like, maybe each enemy has a chance to drop a spell, excuse me, or has the chance to spawn with a specific spell that it can use. Maybe they have different capabilities, but they drop spells, and maybe there are chests behind them and you beat them to get the loot in order to give you an advantage over the enemy, over the other team. Because the other team is just trying to rush as fast to you as fast as possible to you. Meanwhile, you've killed AI and collected stuff. It's kind of like League-ish, where you're doing things on your end against AI to gain an advantage against them. But it's also like Mage Arena, where you're going to get loot and collecting things throughout the map to get an advantage to eventually push and beat the other team. So it's similar. I guess it's like any capture the flag kind of game where there are items or capabilities involved and you don't have everything off the rip. You gain power over time. Like, you could just have all the spells, but I think it would be cooler if you didn't have all the spells and the objective wasn't just to find the enemy base. I mean, I think it could go either way, and maybe I have those B settings that you can enable, or maybe there's just an ideal game mode and we have it set by default and I just do whatever's most fun. So I think what I'm adding is I need a way for you to check your spells. 1, what spells do you even have? And 2, how do you know when the spell is castable again? In Mage Arena, I really like that there's a spell book, because you can cast Fireball, and after you cast Fireball, the sigil goes away, the little emblem goes away, the symbol fades, and then it comes back once you can cast it again. That's really helpful, because otherwise you just kind of be guessing, and then you'd have to like metagame it, or I guess just feel it out, really. It's not necessarily meta, but I mean, you could have like a fucking 5-second timer going after you cast Fireball and you set it, and then the second it beeps, you can do it again or something. Like, I don't know, it feels like wizards should know when their spells are castable again. Maybe you have to fumble around and figure out when, but it's better than totally just guessing and having no clue, because it probably makes sense to have these things have different cooldowns. Holy Light, to heal a bunch of people in a big area, maybe has like a 32-second cooldown, whereas Fireball maybe has like an 8-second cooldown, whereas Invisibility maybe has a 17-second cooldown, or a 2-minute cooldown, or a 1-minute cooldown. No idea. It would be really hard keeping track of those, just speaking them, because you would speak them and hope, and if you're in the battle, it feels like things are taking longer, but they're not. It's just quick, and you'd be saying Invisibility over and over again until it finally works, and you don't know if it's a game bug, speech isn't working, because speech will bug out. It's just how speech recognition is. But I want to make the experience as good as possible and feel like you're a wizard in control of your abilities. You might have to fumble around your fucking spellbook and find the right thing and be like, oh shit, I have that spell. Crunch! And it hits the other guy. Something like that. Or you're going to see, is it back yet? Nope, not yet. What else do I have? Let me go back. Oh, I have it again. Boom! And then sends a fucking fireball down the hall. Something like that. So, how do we actually keep track of the spells? Well, I created the spellbook. I went into Blender, I created a spellbook. I'll show you that in a sec here. This one. So, what did I do? I went into Blender and did all this from scratch. Everything 100%. And so the end result is this. We have a spellbook. I have to zoom in because the animation or the materials kind of bug out if you zoom too far away. So we have a turn left and we have a turn right. And that's all I need. And then I'm going to update these materials in the game. So I can update what these materials are and it will automatically fit to the page because of how I made the materials. I'll make them in such a way and check them and whatnot and export them so that basically this is what will happen. Let's say your spellbook has 3 spells. It has Freeze, it has Magic Missile, and it has Fireball. Okay? Fireball is the first spell, Freeze is the second, it's in the middle, and then Magic Missile is at the end. I could do the same thing with any number of spells. So what do I mean? You start on some default spell. You open your book up and let's just say Freeze is what you start on, okay? And what happens is if I want to turn to the left page, I'm going to open up your array of spells. And you can't rearrange them, or maybe you can. I don't know. It makes sense probably to not. But let's say that Fireball is the first index, so 0, and then Freeze is 1, and then Magic Missile is 2. Well, what do? When you press E or whatever to flip to the left page, so you turn right 1 page, okay? We're going to check what is the index, or what is the spell before the current page. So what is the spell to the left? Whatever that spell is, I apply that texture to the turning page 1, and it will update. So let's pretend we're on spell 2, okay? We go and get spell 1, and I update this page that you can't see. It could be blank, it could be the wrong spell, it could be anything, you don't know. And I update it to now be, oh, it's now Fireball. Let's say it was blank, now it is Fireball, but right before this goes. And then it flips and you see Fireball. Awesome. Well, now let's pretend instead you're on spell 56, and we're turning to go to spell 54, or 55. well, we see what spell is 55 in our array. Oh, that is Holy Light. So I update this page to get the material of Holy Light. So I would just have a big array of all these materials, these textures, same shit, materials in this case, really. I update page 1 as a mesh to use the material of of spell 55. It updates. It's now Holy Light. It's this blinding light looking thing with like a cross or something to heal. And then it flips. And then what happens? Well, the animation could just end right there, actually. But what if there was, like, what if I flip a page and I do this again? How do I, well, hold on. I'm trying to actually make this make sense now. So right here, the third page is actually on the left. And the point here is that whenever you flip a page, I want there to still be a page behind it, so it never looks like you've run, like, I don't want you to flip back a page and then you run out of pages. So page 3, like, there needs to be a page here that's turnable. Otherwise, well, I guess not necessarily. But basically, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it dynamically. So if we're going to flip left, we're going to flip up. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Hold on. Did I bake it already? What's happening? Not actually sure. Okay, whatever. We'll do this one. This is like the other way around. This one's stuck the other way. I think it's because I baked and saved. Instead, oh wait, actually this is the same. Yeah. Okay, it's cooked. Okay, here we go. We'll do this one. So, when we're flipping the page left, we check to see what spell is next. Update the texture right now before you see the spell behind this page to be whatever it needs to be. That way it works from going from one spell 2 to 3, as it did for 1 to 2, as it did for 33 to 34. Okay, we set it. Oh, it's blindness. Okay, I update the texture right now, right before the animation goes to blindness. And then we flip, and then we land on this page. And then what I'm going to do is, I can't just play this animation again because then it would reset, it would flip back to the previous page because this is a new page here. So what I do is I instantly play a separate animation that is simple. I guess it's not here. That is page reset. And all page reset is the last frame of these page flips. Or really the first flip. Excuse me, the first frame. So what I do is we flip the page. We flip the page. Here it is. So we update this. And now we see it. And we're at the end. And then I immediately play this. There's a one frame animation here to instantly skip to this state. And there's no jitteriness or anything because it's literally, we've already finished the page. And so going from here to here, there's no change. Okay. But if we flip, we don't want to just see the fireball disappear and go back to whatever it was. So what I do is right after the flip, we've covered up the page. I then update page 2, the page we just covered up, to be the same material as page 1. Or if I'm flipping right to left, well, can't do it, but if I'm flipping right to left, I update page 2 as we flip it to no longer see it. We update it to match this new page that we see behind it, Magic Missile. And then I play this animation, the reset, and we don't see any change. But we've reset the book so that we can then do another flip seamlessly. Thinking about it, I need to think more about it tomorrow. I'm tired. It's too late. I could just leave the animation there and it's fine. No, because if I think I do need that reset because the current page needs to be updated. Because if I just play the same animation again, then well, think that's how it's gonna go. I think that's it. Problem. When I export this and I put it into Unreal, we get these fucking stupid ass materials, and I don't know why. Hold. What did I do in here? Let me comment this real quick. Updated player book comments and adjusted anim speeds. Okay, that's it. So I can fuck around. So if I create a folder really quick, we're just gonna call it test. It's fine. I'm gonna delete it in a second here, so it's fine even if it's a shitty name. It's whatever. Sure, we'll do a little best practice, whatever. 11, 17, 25. Oh, I guess can't do that. 11, 17, 25. Wait, 11, 17? No? 11, 17, 25. Book, texture, test, okay? Here's the issue. When I go into here, and I open up the book, and then, okay, so this one's good. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I don't know what's wrong. What the fuck is happening? Is that a bug? Oh, good. Hairs are tingling. Oh, maybe I just didn't reverse it? Is that what happened? Yeah, it's just bugged out. Or I exported and it's fully baked into the mesh at this point. Oh, I'm keyframing shit. That's what happened. I just need to scale it, make it -1 to reverse it, and now it flips the other way. We got it to the right and to the left. Easy. Okay, I was just being stupid. I forgot that I made another thing just to fix the textures. So, what's the issue here? Well, if I just select these meshes, I could do the whole thing, but I'm just going to do these, and I want these materials. How did I do the materials? Because I had to learn how to do this. This is what I did. So I went to, I have to select just one. Oh, I have to go to object mode too. I go to the material and I made this material. What did I do? I added an image. You simply drag an image here and it'll create something like this, a little image texture. What this is called. Boom. We have to get a UV map because the UVs are somehow like where the image is on the thing. But by default, it defaults to a place you don't want. So we have to manually adjust it and tweak it to make sure that the image overlays properly. So what do? We use a mapping node. We drag this out and type in mapping. And then I adjusted the location and I had to rotate it because the default rotation was fucked and the default scale was just too big. So actually, as the lower the scale, it's dividing by this for the scale. So the bigger the number, the smaller it gets because you're dividing by a bigger number. Duh, right? So I adjust it with a mapping node. And then we plug it into this default shit that spawns for every material. This is just like what the actual material ends up being and what gets displayed here. So if I disconnect this, then you don't see shit. You just see whatever the default color is. But we'll undo that. Okay, I guess Control-Z doesn't work here. GG. Well, what happens? Well, when I export this, we'll just do page one mesh and see what this comes out to be. Okay, we're just gonna do bad fireball test texture. It should be material, but it's fine. I'm going to select my default stuff that only does what I'm selected, only does these things in case I have extra stuff. Does it in these directions, scales it down because Unreal needs things to be scaled down to work properly. I'll just don't care about the actions, I care about the materials. None of this has anything to do with the materials. We do face, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. None of this matters. I tried it with different things too, but here we go. So I'll export this. And then what happens? I'm going to import that into Unreal and see if I get, what was it called? Fireball test texture. I'm going to import this, see what we get. What is it going to give us? It's going to give a material and a thing. Okay? For some reason, that's what it gives. It gives, well, one, it didn't even give a static mesh. Hello? Am I stupid? I have two things open. GG. Turn this off. Please, don't save. Okay. So if I do this and I export, is that true? Is that all it gave? Oh, I think I I think I didn't select something correctly. So I'm just gonna do fireball test texture, import, see what the settings are. Import only animations, false. Static meshes too. Oh, I didn't have that on. Okay, here's the static mesh, okay? Here it is. Here's this thing. And it imported, well, I already have this color here, so it already exists elsewhere. But this material is not what we did. It's creating this other page one material, and if I go and actually look at what it looks like, it's all kinds of fucked up. I don't know where the hell it got this damn diffuse color map. I don't know where it got any of this. This is just wrong. The page looks like shit. It doesn't work. It's bad. So I'm going to discard these because we don't want them. Okay, no changes. Good. How do I fix it? We have to bake the texture to the mesh. Or rather, we just have to bake the texture and take it so that instead of having a texture and modifying it, which can't be exported, we instead bake this all into one texture and export that instead of modifying it, which fucks everything up. What do? You create an image texture, name it what you want, baked fireball texture, boom, have that selected, go to render tab, change render engine to cycles, go to bake settings, turn off these two lighting settings, change this to diffuse for the bake type, and click bake. When you do that, you have to then go to the image editor, find your baked guy, and fuck it all up. It's because I didn't select anything, I think, or I'm just being retarded. I'm not sure. No, that worked earlier. If I select this and have that selected, then cycles, bake, diffuse, bake. There it is. Well, that's the right thing that we normally see. Big texture fireball. There it is. Okay, I fucked up. You have to select the thing first. You can't select just the material because then it doesn't work. Let me verify this. I guess I can't delete that unless I go to the shader editor, maybe? So what happens? Is it gone now? No, it's not gone. Okay, it's just stuck. Whatever. That's how you do it. Make sure to select this thing. Cool. Whatever. Now, when we go and look at the image editor, I can put this back to unrendered so I'm not lagging anymore. We can go and look at our fireball texture. This is what we got in the beginning. This is what I imported. It was too big. It wasn't the right scale. I had to fuck around with things. If I export the stuff as is, after I modify it, it fucks everything up and it doesn't export shit. Then we can do this. We bake it, and this is the right size with the right rotation that when it gets put on here, it's proper. Because this whole thing is rotated to the side, this thing is rotated upwards. It's scaled down because it was too big, I guess. Something like that. Long story short, I take this image, save it, and then import it into Unreal. And then that shit works perfecto. And that's it. So, tomorrow, because I gotta go to sleep, I've been up too late already. Tomorrow, I'm gonna add in the logic so that when you play the animation, so the book, actually, I'm gonna open up a string, and I'm gonna have an array of strings, and those are the names of the spells that you have by default. And I'm just going to pick a default spell and set that to be the page that the book opens up to. And then we're going to reference the array whenever we do any page turning. And it will match it. It will match the texture of the page that is coming to the index before or after, depending on if you're flipping to a before or after page. The texture will match on the book. So that if I'm flipping to the page before, we look in that array and we see, oh shit, fireball's before. We set that texture to be fireball. It comes, or that material to be fireball. Flip it over and it's fireball now. And then play that reset animation to put that page back so we can flip again. This may or may not be needed, but I play the reset animation right after I update the page we covered to be fireball. So we set this to be fireball. We can't see it yet. Now we see it. It's fireball. And immediately after finishing it, update the page we just covered, the default page that we always want to be using. That way we can flip back and forth without running out of pages. Update it to be the new spell, Fireball. Or if we flipped to a new page, we flip to see a new page. And then update the page we just pulled away to be the new page, spell. And then reset. But we can't see the reset. And then that's it. We're golden. And then I update the index to say, hey, we're now at this one. So there'll be current index, and then going left, we'll subtract and update the indices accordingly. So we'll go and check for element 32 because we're on 33. So we go and look at 32. We set the page that's coming to be 32. Coming to be 32, either way. And then once we've covered, we update our old page to be the index or the texture that matches spell 32. Play the animation to put us back on track. And then say that, hey, we're now on 32. The fuck am I hearing? The dog. The bad bark. Poor guy. But that's it. So tomorrow I'm going to do that logic. And I'll see if I even need the reset thing, because if I just turn the page, I've made the animations now. So like before I was doing the reset page because the animation was all 3 pages on one side. So the book started without any pages on the left. So if I flip the page, like if I flip the page and put a page over there, and then I flip back, but then I flip back again, I'm going to run out of pages. But instead, now all my animations have a page on both sides for sure. Oh, wait. Hold. We have the current page that's on top of another page. And if I flip like this, we have an extra. And if I flip the front page, we have an extra. Okay, so yeah, both animations are good. I actually don't think we need that updated page. I think I might just have to update the new page that we see, because we only ever see the current spell and the next spell. So if I'm on one spell and I update the next to be wherever the hell we're going, either the next index or the previous index, I update the texture. Now we see that spell, and I don't blend the animation, so it just stays as is. And then all I do is I play whatever's correct the next time. So if I'm playing forward, then I might have to do some wonkiness because the pages aren't always exact. For example, sometimes page 3 is in the front and then page 1 that we're flipping, and then page 2 is the one we see. But other times page 2 is the one we see and page 3 is the new one that we see. We flip page 2 to see 3, we flip page 1 onto 2 because we need an extra page to be there. So if 3 is always in the back, it doesn't make sense for us to have a page in the back if we're flipping a new page because we never see the one in the back. So that way, that lets us get by with just 2 anims. So actually, I think I can get rid of that reset animation. So tomorrow I'll do that because right now I can spawn the book and I can go forward and backward. So, okay, for tomorrow. And also, that's it. So when you export the animation or the texture, it's just a PNG, it's just an image. You import it into Unreal and you just right click, create material, and then apply it to the right slot, the slot that matches the material that was previously fucked up when you imported it, because it's going to be fucked up when you import it normally. Okay, that's it. All right, more tomorrow.